Elon Musk says he will be donating $20 million to Cameron County schools and $10 million to the city of Brownsville, Texas, for downtown revitalization. Good time then to bring in Trey Mendez. He's the mayor of Brownsville. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Have you spoken to Elon Musk about this?
Good morning, Ashley. No, I have not actually had the chance to speak to Elon Musk yet. We've reached out, both myself and the city administration, to try and sit down, have a conversation, to kind of know a little bit more and really figure out what it is that he plans to do with this gift and whether there's anything specific that he'd like to see done. Really just anxiously waiting the details so far.
Yeah, was this a complete surprise to you?
A complete surprise. I found out, I think, when everybody else found out. He tweeted this early in the morning, and I started getting calls and text messages, and I was in the middle of some work, so really just trying to figure it out, and saw that he mentioned that the details would be forthcoming, so that's really what we're waiting for. But yeah, just totally caught all of us by surprise, but it was a good surprise.
Very good, and I'm sure there's lots you can do with the money.
Oh my gosh, I mean, Brownsville, Texas, it's the second most historic city in Texas behind San Antonio. Our downtown's our jewel, one of the jewels of the city. There's so many good things happening down here. SpaceX has done some good stuff. There's quite a few people coming into Brownsville now. The average home value has gone up. A lot of really good things happening, and downtown's been, really booming over the last couple of years, and hopefully we're going to see some more progress with Mr. Musk's infusion of capital here.
Tax revenue, old academy, critical race theory. DINERO, BAILA, PERRO. It is Monday, August 8th, 7:03 a.m. My name is Frank. This is Good Morning Brownsville. We are still away from the studio. This is our end of the two-city tour of Good Morning Brownsville. We started off last week in South Padre Island, and up in the great city of Houston. Eager to be back in our great city of Brownsville. So we will be back in the studio on Wednesday. And we also want to send a special happy birthday to Ms. Tyra Martinez, a former Lopez Global, former valedictorian, who is now a student at Texas A&M. So happy birthday, Ms. Tyra Martinez. Special shout goes out to you, and wishing you the best of luck for this upcoming year. Your sophomore year. Much love is sent from your brother, your sister, and your parents. So happy birthday, Ms. Tyra. Hope you have a great day. And God continue to bless you, you and your family. Now, as Texas begins to open up its doors for school, we have been monitoring several things that have been transpiring as of late in the state of Texas. One big issue that has been arisen has been through the social studies curriculum that has been implemented. And one thing that we can all agree is that the state of Texas, we feel, should veer away from this standardized testing. Many teachers, administrators have this daunting task of trying to force our students to learn a certain part of history of the exam in order for them to pass. The issue with curriculum for social studies has been the critical race theory and how we should teach our students about slavery, racism, and sometimes sex. Now, speaking with a former teacher and now administrator for BISD, one argument that many teachers and administrators have made was that our politicians should stay away from passing and implementing laws in things that they don't have much knowledge of. Not all lawmakers in the state of Texas are former teachers or have that experience in the classroom. But nonetheless, we see how much power and influence they have in what is being taught in the classroom. One argument that this administrator stated was that we need to get away and eliminate the STAR and text exams that have our our students so worried. Again, throughout their time in the classroom, a large majority of that time is spent on trying to figure out how to pass that test. It's all about memorizing things, not really learning anything. One thing that has come into question throughout the state of Texas has been, how do we teach about the Holocaust? How do we teach about 9/11? We teach about 9/11, but then many Muslim students in the state of Texas, they do have backlash. We don't teach about the suffering that our Muslim community have because of the teachings of 9/11. Also, we don't want to really talk about these issues because back in the 60s, when during the civil rights movement, many individuals they and still today, slavery and racism is still alive and well in the South and throughout the United States. How do we teach? How do we teach slavery? How do we teach racism? Is there a way for our teachers to walk that fine line during their studies? So the Texas lawmakers they do have an important role in what is taught, and an issue that has been brought up has been how do we teach? How do we teach racism? How do we teach important issues that have transpired throughout history, and how that will affect our students? And again, one big reason this has been brought up was because many students they feel guilty. Why? Because we hear about the sufferings of Mexican Americans and how that have changed the course of history. But throughout those teachings, we do hear about racism against Mexican Americans, against Asians, and now as recently since 9/11, because of the terror attacks, they are seeing the repercussions of racism in the classroom. So the social studies curriculum has been and will be going to change about how the history of our culture, of our race, whether you are Mexican American, African American, and how that will impact the lives of our students. Do we need to get rid of this sort of curriculum? Do our teachers focus so much time and attention, and sometimes it feels overbearing because the only thing that the administrators focus on is on passing the test? What are the teachers going to do to make sure that those students grasp that information and are able to perform well? Now, does this test or these types of exams, do they help our youth after they leave our BISD? Do they implement that in the real world? Is it important for them to learn? While we could agree that it is important for us to learn about the history, but many students are dealing with the struggles of racism, of slavery, and teachers are are walking that fine line of how to implement this in the classrooms with all these changes within the curriculums that we have been seeing. Another great, and keeping with school news, we did learn that GBIC, the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation, did donate $86,000 to BISD for their career and technology education. And one thing that was surprising to learn was that now BISD will be the first school in the United States to have a drone academy. And we can all agree that technology now is what is coming. The new wave is technology. What we have seen is that the likes of Amazon, UPS, even Walmart is starting to invest in technology of drones. In Florida, in the bigger metropolitan cities, what we have seen now is that in restaurants, we have robots. My aunt was in Miami not too long ago, and she sent me a video of a robot delivering soft drinks. We are starting to see how the incorporation of technology seems as if that is going to be part of our everyday lives.
Well, now the students of BISD will have that opportunity. And the importance of technology is very, very important. Here in the city of Brownsville, recently we had Paragon open up shop in the city of Brownsville because of SpaceX. And Paragon is a drone taxi service that does anticipate by the year 2025 to be up and running. And when I think of drones, when I think of air taxis, I think of the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons? How they predicted, and this show was back in the 60s and 70s, how they predicted that technology would be crazy during these times, how we would have flying cars. And back in the day, they even predicted how watches would be intercoms, a source of communication, amongst other things. But technology is very, very important. And BISD will be the first school in the nation to have this sort of instruction. We have seen how the military, how colleges have started to implement this in their studies. So BISD will be the first school in the United States to have this. And again, another important issue or important role or job that these drones have done has been in marketing. Real estate agents, they've used the likes of technology to get an overview of whether that be commercial or residential properties, and have given the buyers or potential buyers to have a larger view of what they could possibly be purchasing. Now, for our students, it is going to be very, very important. And this technology is very, very expensive. As we all know, drones they're expensive. But now our students will be able to have an insight into this technology. Again, the likes of Amazon, Walmart, UPS. In the next 10 or 15 years, the way they're going to be transporting our mail, our correspondence, will be through drones, through air taxis. And I know it's hard for us to imagine that. Why? Because we are so used to the carriers on land, through land and air, whether that be a plane or the postal driver in their vehicle. But nonetheless, BISD is the first school in the United States to have this sort of instruction. And the benefit of this will be that these students will potentially could receive a position with Paragon. And again, Paragon is currently in the city of Brownsville. They anticipate that by 2025, they will be having delivery of correspondence of mail through air drone taxis, which is the future. But again, our students here at BISD will be able to have the benefit of learning this new technology, incorporating it into their everyday lives, and God willing, they will be able to receive a position or the possibility of getting a job with the likes of Paragon, possibly Walmart, possibly Amazon. Again, the new wave of technology. It is very important for us to stay up to date with technology. And it's hard because every year, every month, every 6 months, we see how technology is constantly changing. So a great benefit that our students will have in BISD will be that they will have that access of learning this new technology, which is the drones, which could allow them to receive a position in the future. Now, the city of Brownsville is going to be collecting or projecting to collect a 36% increase of hotel occupancy tax revenue for year 2023. And according to the Texas code, the only way we could use that money that is collected from hotels, lodging, and car rentals is to invest it back into nonprofits within our municipal government, in our nonprofit organizations that focus and encourage tourism here in the city of Brownsville. Because of the likes of SpaceX, we have seen individuals from as far as Australia, the United Kingdom. They have come down personally to see what the big fuss is. Why is Brownsville popping? Why is Brownsville the jewel in throughout the state of Texas? Now, a large reason because of that is, as we all know, is SpaceX. But what we have seen is the importance of us to promote the city of Brownsville as much as possible. And this 36% increase of hot taxes, of the hotel occupancy tax revenue, would help promote our city as much as possible. Because again, the important thing is for us to be able to share our information, share the great resources that we have here in the great city of Brownsville. And we are very fortunate. We have a zoo. We have two natural resources of beaches, South Padre and Boca Chica. Boca Chica, we'll talk a little bit more about this in the next segment. We also have the Port of Brownsville. We have many natural resources within our city. And the important thing is for us to promote our city as much as possible. We see here that these nonprofit organizations, they have requested this money from the city. We have Gladys Porter Zoo requesting $500,000. The Brownsville Historical Association, $200,000. Sombrero Fest will be requesting $165,000. Children's Museum, $80,000. Mr. Amigo, $75,000. The Mini Corporation is asking for $60,000. Possibly that money would be for the marketing director, the chief of staff for Commissioner De Los Santos. His chief of staff did get the position of marketing director, and many people have argued and questioned, how could a young man without any degree, whether that be an associate's, a bachelor's, or a master's, get a position that pays $75,000? As we all know, it's hard to find a job. It's hard to find anything within the city of Brownsville. We posted this past weekend on welding positions that were paying $12 to $16, and that made us cringe. We have heard of individuals who have doctorates, masters, who are very well versed and have vast amounts of experience and knowledge in their respective fields that they are competing with for those jobs of $75,000. But nonetheless, that's a different story. But we do have here how Charo Days will be getting or requesting $50,000. The interesting thing was, and I had this question yesterday, was my idea of Sombrero Fest, Mr. Amigo, was that their role was, again, to promote and put on a show as we have been having for the past, as long as we could remember. Is their role to just break even? They put on an amazing event year in and year out. And my idea was, what happens to that money? I thought, we're going to spend $100,000. Let's say we're going to spend $100,000 and we're going to recoup that money and save it up for next year. But what happens with that money? We could talk about the mismanagement of those nonprofit organizations where, many have questioned, where does this money go? But nonetheless, we have seen how these nonprofit organizations are requesting these monies. Again, I have always questioned the likes of Mr. Amigo, Sombrero Fest, Charo Days. I thought that they were just to break even so they can carry that money over to the next year. Again, this is a nonprofit organization. Do people make money off of this? Do they have the right to claim this? During a time where the city of Brownsville is, they can't afford to pay their bus drivers. Now, again, this money that is collected from the hotel occupancy tax could only be used, according to the Texas code, could only be used for tourism. So we will be monitoring to see how the effects of this money will have for promoting Brownsville. My question has always been, I always thought that these nonprofit organizations, again, such as Sombrero, such as Mr. Amigo, Their role was just to break even, and that money that they collected would be, transferred over to the new year, so they can once again put on a great show as they always do. So nonprofit organizations have been requesting money from the city of Brownsville going into next year. The interesting thing was that the city of Brownsville was amongst the highest in municipal governments in the state to collect. This year it is over $1 million, and the marketing directing team for the city do anticipate that by 2023 or 2024, if I'm not mistaken, that $1 million will jump up to 1.8, which is a large sums of money for our residents. Now, con dinero baila el perro. We have seen how power, money, and influence, unfortunately, have reigned supreme here in the city of Brownsville. We started today's segment with the announcement that Elon Musk, that he was going to be donating $20 million to our area. And many have questioned and said, is this a bribe? Again, this is peanuts for the world's richest man. But what is the reasons behind why he donated $10 million to downtown? And many have argued and said, how did Elon Musk know that the city of Brownsville needed money for downtown? Was he told? Was he suggested that he should donate that money to downtown to help facilitate any sort of agreement needed for SpaceX to have a smooth landing? But again, many have questioned the money that was given to Elon Musk, from Elon Musk to the citizens of Brownsville. BISD got a large sum of that money. And we can all agree, and we have been up in arms. Recently, we did post how our residents, they having to wait in the scorching heat for bus transportation. And many people have questioned and said, well, where is that money that Elon Musk donated? All that money, did it really go to downtown? Did those that benefit from this, are those proprietors in downtown, which many, and I'm not going to go into it again, but many have questioned and said, hey, only a certain amount of people are benefiting from this. But nonetheless, do we have a problem here in the city of Brownsville that doesn't allow us to see the majority of the citizens of Brownsville to reap the benefits from this? Now, the unfortunate thing is that we do have this idea, this notion that money makes the world go round, and we have that understanding that con el dinero baila el perro. But we have seen how Elon Musk has pretty much taken over Boca Chica Beach. It is no longer Boca Chica Beach. It is Musk Island. Now, the important thing is, and you are correct, Mr. Elizondo, where did that money go? We want an accounting of that money. Should that money be spent throughout the city of Brownsville? And we always question, who suggested it to Elon Musk that he should focus on downtown only? Should that money be spread elsewhere? But nonetheless, many people have argued, and many residents from Boca Chica Beach have been up in arms. Why? Because they have had to close. Boca Chica access, and as we all know, many residents in the city of Brownsville, they do predominantly travel, and there is a need for them to come back and forth. And what we have seen from the months of July on the screen has been the closure, and we do have a resident who has been following this, and he has been affected because he does have a ranch out there, and he did state, this is very shameful. July 2022, has been the calendar month of shame. Why? Because Cameron County and Elon Musk have closed off access, to the beach. Now, you and I know that it is unfortunate whenever we have the likes of someone like Elon Musk using his power, his money, his influence uh, on uh, on other people. Now, it is interesting to note that many individuals uh, have been questioning the role of our county and even city commission. What is going to transpire? Another big issue that we have been, following has been, we did give access to Elon Musk and SpaceX to close 5 different streets. We have Annette, Joanne, Remedios street that were pretty much given up, and we have here how the city commission, they did abandon the roads inside Boca Chica Village. And again, does a man's influence, power, money, does this lead him to do what he wishes? Are we bowing down to the world's richest man, where we're saying how, hey man, you gave us $30 million. That's 10 cents to you. You can do what you want. Here is the keys. Here is the keys to the city. You do as you wish, Mr. Musk. Are we doing that? Are we bending over for the world's richest man? Now, have I stated before? I am in a little dilemma. Why? Because we do feel the need, and we do see the need and the importance of SpaceX for our local economy. But at the same time, there are some ramifications to this issue. We have seen that explosion that happened not too long ago, and how many residents have stated, "Hey, I'm scared. What if something happens? What if a catastrophe happens? Will we be able to recuperate from this?" And the main reason why that our city commission and even at the county level, the reasons why they have pretty much given Elon Musk what he wants is because he's Elon Musk. Are you going to challenge the world's richest man, the man that's in your backyard? Are you going to say, no, Elon Musk, you are going to do what is the best interest of Cameron County and its residents, not what's in the best interest of SpaceX? And we can talk about the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding that Cameron County and SpaceX came to back in 2013, and that understanding, they did limit the amount of closures and times and days that SpaceX had to close access to the beaches. Many have been vocal about the need to stick to that MOU. Are we giving him an inch and he's taking a mile? Are we giving him a little bit and he's saying, you know what, Brownsville is mine? Many have been in awe of him saying, "Oh, I live in a $40,000 home. I have nowhere to live, lay my head. I'm a poor common folk. I'm one like you. Please, trust me. I have your best intentions." But again, con el dinero baila el perro. Are we giving Elon Musk too much? And the recent thing that has happened, and I wanted to play the video. I kind of lost it again, technology. But Elon Musk came out on a podcast, and Elon Musk, whether he's joking or not, he does have a weird sense of humor. He did state that on the street that he currently lives, he wants to change the name of the street to Memes Street. Yes, the world's richest man wants to change his address to read that he lives on Meme Street. He lives on Meme Street. And he stated on the podcast, and I'll show the post. He did state that if you could get enough people together, you can change a street name and full send Meme Street. That's what he wants to do. And he did state, we have to get some signatures, we have to do this, we have to do that, and hopefully it will pass. Who's going to say no to the world's richest man? Are you going to say, That's loco, Elon. You're dumb. Meme Street. You want to live on Meme Street? No, get out of here. Elon Musk, it seems, whatever he wants, gets in the city of Brownsville and in Cameron County. Are we selling ourselves short? Are we allowing the world's richest man to do what he pleases in one of the poorest areas in the country? Are we saying, Elon Musk, do what you want? Because here in Cameron County, in the city of Brownsville, the only thing that matters is the almighty feria. And as long as you give us our money, as long as we have access to that money pipeline, you do as you wish. Is that what we want from our community? Do we have somebody within our local government, whether that be at the city or county level, to challenge Elon Musk and say, hey, Elon, slow your roll. You're going to do what is in the best interest of Cameron County and not SpaceX. But unfortunately, we do have individuals who are bowing down to King Elon and will never challenge the world's richest man, because at the end of the day, he has so much power and influence that it could affect their political careers. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. Hot tax revenue. The city is anticipating an increase of 36% of hotel occupancy tax, where nonprofit organizations will be requesting a large sums of money. And I have questioned, and I've always thought that nonprofits such as Charo's, Mr. Amigo, their role was just to break even, and that money that was generated from sales and from collecting during that week-long event that is Charo Days, that is put into the bank, and next year, we do it all over again. I thought that was the idea of Charo Days, but it seems not, because we have the likes of Sombrero Fest, Charo Days, requesting large sums of money, and the largest one was Sombrero, asking for $165,000. Critical race theory. As our students go back, and I believe Samuelito is starting today. I believe IDEA is starting today. BISD will be starting on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. What we have seen from our social studies curriculum has been have teachers are trying to walk that fine line on how they teach about racism and slavery and the likes of the Holocaust and the consequences or ramifications of 9/11, and how our Muslim Americans, how they are being treated for their ethnicity. Unfortunately, we should try to veer away from focusing so much on these standardized testing, which doesn't really implement them, doesn't really help our students in the real world. But again, it's all a money game. It's all about the almighty dollar. The state of Texas is so hell-bound on these standardized testings that it doesn't really benefit our teachers, and it doesn't really benefit our students in the long run. And also the drone academy. The ISD will be the first high school within the nation to have this sort of instruction. We have seen how the military and certain colleges do offer the benefits. Why? Because technology is the new wave. Drone travel is the new wave. Here in the city of Brownsville, we have Paragon, who will be, by 2025, will be having this drone taxi service. Now we won't be seeing, we will start slowly seeing the fade away of transportation of this correspondence through wheels. Now we're going to be seeing through drones. Now this drone academy will allow our students to possibly get jobs with the likes of Amazon, Walmart, and UPS, that are going to slowly be introducing this taxi drone service in the year 2025. And con dinero, baila el perro. Have we bowed down to the world's richest man? Have we said, you know what? We're going to give you an inch and you take whatever you want. We have seen how he donated $10 million to the city of Brownsville for downtown revitalization. Who told him to donate downtown? That's up for debate. BISD, the other $20 million were donated to Cameron County schools for education, technology, and to incorporate space, the implementation of space travel in their curriculum, into their studies slowly. Are we bowing down to the world's richest man because he gave us a few bucks? Our most prized possession, which is our natural resource, our beach? Are we giving it away for peanuts? Are we saying, we are willing to give this up because of the possibilities that SpaceX could have on our local economy? And as we all know, and that is up for debate, many individuals that do get these great $80, $90, $100,000 jobs are engineers from California, from the outside. And us peasants here local in the city of Brownsville, we're only giving security jobs. We do have, every now and then, we do have an individual who does have a great paying job. For the most part, it's people from the outside that are benefiting. And what bothers me is that King Elon reigns supreme here in the city of Brownsville. Now it is not Boca Chica Beach. Now it is Musk Island. Con el dinero baila el perro. The city of Brownsville, Cameron County, has bowed down to King Elon, and none of our local elected officials, whether at the city or county level, have dared to challenge this ban. Why? Because this could have negative effects on their political careers. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. It is Monday, August the 8th, 7:38 a.m. I do anticipate being back in the studio on Wednesday. This is the end of the two-city tour for Good Morning Brownsville. We started off in South Padre Island. Now we finish off in the city of Houston. We hope to travel throughout the state. We do have friends in each and every city, which we do stop by, catch up, and just enjoy each other's time. So Good Morning Brownsville should be having another tour throughout Texas and possibly throughout Mexico, just to see where we're welcome. So thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you here on Wednesday. Hope you all have a great day. Students going back to school, God bless. Hope you have a great day. Pay attention to your teachers. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Have a great day. God bless. You too, my brother. Thanks so much, my man. They don't know we're friends, but don't tell them.